First Peter chapter 2, verses 2 and 3 says, like newborn babies, crave pure spiritual milk, so that by it you may grow up in your salvation, now that you have tasted that the Lord is good. So let's talk about that. The Lord is good. Many of us tend to forget just how good God been to us. When we start our walk in our faith and we start really going through the things that we've been through and we look back on our lives, we begin to realize that God been good to us a mighty long time. Even before we accepted our faith and became true believers and believed in the Lord and started praying more and reading the Bible, God been blessing us already. So when you start to see the blessings that God has brought you from and the thing that God has given you and the things God has brought you from, you begin to realize that the more you walk with the Lord and the more you go through things in life, that the more God will continue to be with you. The more God will continue to infuse things upon you. And the more you will start seeing the manifestation of just how good the Lord is. And so you stop telling the stories of David, Jacob, and John, and you start telling your own story and your own testimony, such as when you were homeless and had no place to stay, how the Lord provided you with a house. When you had no job and no food on the table, that the Lord not only blessed you with a job, but it gave you a job to move to another state, where in another state you got a promotion to go somewhere else, and the stories go on and on. When the Lord is your shepherd, you shall not want, and you believe it with your whole heart, and you know it for a fact because you've been there. You probably wasn't in the lion's den with Daniel. You probably wasn't in the fiery furnace, but you've been through the fire. You've been through the lion's den, and you've seen the lion stare you down, but no harm came against you. So understand that when God is with you and God is doing the things that the Lord has already told you, why should you worry? Be not afraid. Why should you have anxiety when you already know that God has already taken care of whatever you've been worrying about? On the other side of what your worrying is a blessing. On the other side of where your anxiety is a blessing. On the other side of where you have had doubt is your promise. So even when you've been rejected by some, know that God accepted you and approved you, and you will get through that door, and it will be a better door than what you thought it was. So when you least suspect it, take that milk and crave that milk of spiritual flesh that you need. Crave the Lord more and more. Know that when you're walking with the Lord, that spiritual milk is that word, that prayer that you've been saying time and time again for the job that you've been craving. Know that God will bless you with it. You just need to walk into your destiny and know that God hasn't forsaken you, but God has already accepted you and is giving you what you need in this time of need. So, all I'm telling you at the end of the day, accept that God is with you. God has already blessed you, and that the things that you thought could not come to fruition will already come to fruition. You just got to believe it.